Hello and welcome to this short tutorial on how to create a calculator in Python. We'll go ahead and launch Anaconda distribution. We go ahead and launch Spyder. Once we have our Spyder open, let's go ahead and save Python files and hit save. Once we have it saved, then we can go ahead and start writing our code for the calculator. The first thing you're going to do is define functions for each arithmetic operation. Then the first one you're going to define is the add function, which takes the argument x and y, and it return the sum of two numbers, x and y. The next one we're going to define is subtract, which takes two arguments of x and y, and it returns x minus y. The next we're going to define is divide, which also takes arguments x and y, and returns x divided by y. And then we can define another one called multiply, that takes the arguments x and y, and it returns x multiplied by y. And those basically are these are the functions that we require for now. We can add some more, but for now we just focus on simple addition, subtraction, dividing, aim this to divide, and multiply. So the next thing is we need to print on the screen some user menus. So we print a menu for the user, and basically we're trying to tell them what exactly to do. The first print we're going to have on the screen is a printer string called select operation. Then we have another print saying that the first one it's add, is also a string, 1.add. The second one is print, it's a string as well, 2, which is subtract. Then we have the third one is print, which takes is 3, which is divide. Then we have another one print, which will print out this string called for multiply. And then those are basically the menus that you're supposed to show the user. Then the next thing is now we need to prompt to have them input a certain to select the operation. And here is where now we say prompt the user to select an operation. Doing that, so here we create a variable called choice, and it will allow users to type in something, and whatever they're going to type, we can give them some more information. So we tell them enter choice, and in a bracket we can say 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and then can end it with a colon and then have a space. So this one will allow the users to type a number, and basically they are selecting a number between 1 and 4 depending on what they want to do in the operations. Then after doing that, now we can tell them to input the numbers that they want to either add, subtract, divide, or multiply. And to do this, we know that, of course, because we want them to type, they might type something that is not a number. So to ensure that they don't do that, then we need to anticipate some exception or some errors, and we're going to use a try except block. So we say try, and then under try block, we can put a comment and say prompt the user to enter 2 numbers. So under this, we can say we need num1, and is assigned, we can say specify is a float, and we need them to type in. So we use the function input, and under input, we can give some more information in a string. So you can say enter first number, colon, and a space. Then we can do the same for num2. We can be a bit lazy and just copy and paste. So we change this to num2, and say second number. And then after you finish that, now we go to the next block, which is the except block. And there's something that might happen here. If they input a wrong number, then they're going to get a value error. So we anticipate we have to handle the value error. So here we'll, after except, we write value error, and then colon at the end. And then now here is where you tell them they've printed the wrong number in case they do. So we say if an exception is raised, print an error message. So which error message do you want to print in case there is an exception? So we say is a print. We can say invalid, a string, invalid input. Please enter valid number. So this one will be shown in case they type something wrong. And in case there's nothing that happens here, in case they print now correct numbers, we want something done. So here we have else. We use an else block to specify what we want done. So here we have some things that we want to do. If they select 1, for example, if the choice was is equal to 1, then what do you want to do? If the choice is 1, then we need to put a colon here. So if they print 1, if the choice is 1, then we print num1 remember that if they select 1, we are adding according to this selection here. num1, then we have to have a string and say plus, then you put a comma, and then we type num2, then comma, then we have an equal sign, then comma, then we call our function, and our function to add is this one. Here, you have to specify our num1, and this one is our num2. So this is when the choice is 1. But if they select something else other than that, then we use elif. And elif, you have to say choice. If the choice now is equal to 2, what do? We print out the subtraction, and we can be a bit lazy and just copy and paste here. So instead of having a addition, we subtract, and instead of having add, we have subtraction, subtract. That is the function that we created. So it's going to take subtraction between num1 minus num2. Then there's also another possibility that they might choose choice equal num3 is equals to 3. So what do? If choice is equals to 3, then here we are, according to our 3 is dividing. So we print out instead of minus, we show divide, and instead of subtract, we have divide. Then that's basically the that choice. Else if, or elif, the choice is 4, what do? We print out the multiplication of the two numbers. We can use that instead of having minus, we use multiplication, asterisk, and then instead of subtract, we have multiply. Multiply is our function. Then, if something doesn't fall under those categories, assuming they selected maybe 5, what would happen in case they selected 5? Remember, we're not handling the error here. So meaning that if they selected 5, then you have to tell them you selected the wrong thing. So you have to have an else block. Under else, we say print invalid input. And just like that, we have our calculator that's supposed to do everything that you want. And just to make sure that we have everything, I have to save first, and then you can run that. Then here you select maybe 1, hit enter the first number, enter the second number. Then once you hit enter, it says it's 12 plus 23 equal 35. Suppose we run that thing again, and suppose now our choice is 4, hit enter, and then enter the number maybe 20, enter, then maybe 13, you hit enter. You get our calculation is 20 multiplied by 13 is equals to 260.0. Thank you for watching. See you in the next part of this Python programming tutorial. And please Do remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell